Hi, I'm Michael Greif, and I'm the director of DEAR EVAN HANSEN.
We're Evan Hansen.
We're Evan Hansen.
We're Evan Hansen. We're Evan Hansen.
I was very starstruck when we first met with Michael Greif. I mean, he's always been an idol of mine.
As writers, you do look at, what's the material that you think is fantastic and who was guiding that ship.
Yeah.
And Michael has guided so many ships of shows, whether it be Grey Gardens, whether it be Next to Normal, whether it be Rent. I mean, these are major shows that we looked up to, and also shows that challenge the convention of what a musical could be. So I think even before we met him, we had tremendous respect and admiration for the work that he has helped birth.
Michael does what anybody who's going to make a new musical has to do. Move effortlessly from the dramaturgical analysis of the book, the sensual analysis of how the music is working, the emotional sense of how the characters are developing, the theatrical sense of how the whole piece is unfolding, and so it's that ability to move between different levels and see and respond to work on all those different levels that Michael brings to a project.
One of the things that I love about working with Michael Greif is he and I have worked together long enough that we almost don't speak to each other anymore. It's almost like it's a conversation that happens through what we're putting on stage, not through talking to each other. He has an incredibly light touch, and there's a level of trust between us that he trusts that I'm seeing what he's seeing, and that relationship I cherish.
Michael is a really trusting and inclusive collaborator. He's a guy who has a lot of very strong instincts about a show, and he's really great with dramaturgy, and he's really great with kind of overarching storytelling, and has a sense of like, I think the world is this. I think I need this in the scene to help tell the story.
I think he's a masterful storyteller. For me, I always think of him in the same breath as Spielberg. That there's this kind of childlike regard of the world and the people that inhabit it and the things that they experience. And they excite his imagination, and they excite his theatrical imagination. And then he figures out the music of telling that story. So he tells a story in a uniquely theatrical way.
He really understands how to zero in on what's working and what isn't, and how to take your vision from your head to actually being on stage with actors and designers.
I love the way he listens to actors. He has a very principled perspective. He has a lexicon of information about the theater that I can't possibly have.
He's a technician. He's a wonderful captain, wonderful navigator. I have total trust in whatever he asks.
He's so wonderful about including you in the conversation. It never feels like you're just being told to do something without an explanation. So if there's something that he says that might go against what you believe as your character would be doing, then he's very open to like having a discussion about it.
That was so paramount for us to all feel immediately that we had this net of his faith and his understanding and his humanity, so that you never felt that you'd go out on a limb and there wouldn't be someone to catch you. And so I think that was the only reason we were able to find these people as deeply as we did, is because he always made it a priority to create an environment where we never felt judged.
As an audience member, when you watch the show, you're finding different people to identify with.
That's what Michael is so good at in terms of guiding actors' performances, and in our case, guiding the creation of the show itself, is really keeping it emotionally accessible for the most amount of people. There were a lot of moments where we were like, I don't know if we should do that. And he's like, I think it's lovely. I think it's going to be great.
Let me list for you all of the directors of musicals who have directed musicals that have won 2 Pulitzer Prizes. 1, Michael Greif. He's the only director who can say that.